miles east of Kirkenston to 8 miles west of Saucier. Movement was northeast at 65 miles per hour. The National Weather Service in New Orleans has issued a special marine warning for Chandler Sound, Lake Borgne, Lake Pontchartrain, and Lake Maurepas, Mississippi Sound, until 4:15 p.m. Central Standard Time. At 3:21 p.m. Central Standard Time, a strong thunderstorm was located near Rye-Gulletts, moving northeast at 35 knots. Hazard, wind gusts 34 knots or greater. Source, radar. Impact, expect wind gusts in excess of 34 knots and suddenly higher waves. Boats could sustain damage or capsize. Make sure all on board are wearing life jackets. Return to safe harbor if possible. Locations impacted include Cat Island, Lake Borgne, and Rye-Gulletts. A tornado watch remains in effect until 6 p.m. Central Standard Time for southern Mississippi. Move to safe harbor until hazardous weather passes. Frequent lightning is occurring with this storm. If caught on the open water, stay below deck if possible. Keep away from ungrounded metal objects. Repeating, a special marine warning has been issued until 4:15 p.m. Central Standard Time for the following marine location: Mississippi Sound. This is a special weather statement for the following areas.